Alright, so let's get started. We're going to add some settings, and if we want to add a menu, we're gonna have to edit this part where we show the menu. So we're gonna create a new person menu here. First we're gonna create a group with an ID and a name. Call it persons. And then we'll add a menu item to it called also persons. So we have an ID and a label. And then we're also going to add a route, so we know where the menu item is going to route us to. Let's call it CMS persons. So now we're going to add the new menu after an existing menu. So in this case we're going to add it after the content group. So the target should be content, yes. And there we go. So in the same file we can specify the route. So we're going to do that right here. We're going to say backend add, and then we're going to add the persons routes. You don't see the CMS part because that's by default in the backend group. So this is going to route to the module controller and then the person's action. So now we're going to add the method in the controller. So we're going to add the person's action, and then we'll set some view items so we can view the menu we're going to create. Here I'm setting the selected menu item, so it's going to highlight in the menu on the left. And also I'm going to add a title, and then we have to add a object which normally will be the data table, but for now we're going to just show some text. And here we pick the view, which is the default CMS I'm using right here. So let's have a look at what that looks like. Alright, we have a new item, persons, and there it is. Hello there. Alright, so I will now create a data table, and we need a database table for that. We have created one here called person. It has an auto increment ID, which is also the primary key. It has a name, it has an image ID, it has a active toggle and a type ID. So now we're going to add the objects and models and forms. So let's add them to version control. And then we have the person form, and we need some fields for the form. So we're going to add a text field for the name, which will have a validator, so it has to be present. And we're going to add a select field for the types. So give it a name type, and we'll add the types right here in an array. And then we'll add a field for the active checkbox. So we can set it active or not. We'll add it, make it default. And then we'll add a file field, so we can pick an image for the person. Now we're going to show the data table in the method for the controller. I'm going to render it, and now let's check it out. Alright, there it is. We got a fully functional editable data table. So here we have a form, we have the name, the type, the checkbox and the image picker. So it all works. As you can see, the image, active and type fields are a little bit are just a number, so we're going to format a little bit by using the built-in formatting options for data tables. So we can make the active fields appear as a checkbox, and also you can check it right in the table, and also the formatting for the image, so we just can see the image, format finder image. And also for the type, we're going to add formatting so we can see the label of the type instead of just a number. Alright, now let's check it out, how it looks right now. There we go. As you can see, a type, a label for the type, an image for the images, and a checkbox for the active toggle. As you can see, it just works. Alright, now we're going to add a subdata table. So we have a table right here called person hobby with an ID and name, a person ID which links to the person, and a display order so we can change the order of the hobbies. So now we're going to add a relation to the hobby object, so the object knows about the children it has, in this case the person hobbies. So this functionality is Falcon native, and we're going to add an alias here which is called person hobbies, which we'll need in the SubDataTable field. And now we're going to add a form field to the person hobby form, which is only a name. Alright, and now let's add the subdata table to the person form. So we'll see we can add hobbies in the person form. So we're going to give the alias we just created, we're going to use that as the key here, and then we add the SubDataTable class, which is created by the command we used earlier, and we're going to call it hobbies. And now let's check it out. So when we edit a person, we have the hobbies SubDataTable right here. You can set a name, because we added a name field, so some other hobby right there. And as you can see, we have the person ID and display order field, which is not really relevant, so we're going to remove that. To do that, we are going to edit the person hobbies data table, and we are going to edit the pre-generated get table field map. We'll just add the ID and the name, that's enough. And also we're going to set a property sortable on true, so we can sort the items. That is where the display order field is used for. So now we're going to refresh, and as you can see, you can drag the hobbies around. So you can place them in the order you want. And that's it. So we now have a fully functional data table where you can edit and create and remove persons. And each person has a subdata table where you can edit and create hobbies. So as you can see in the database, we now have some data in the database with persons and person hobbies.